The Department of Justice announced that a Florida woman pleaded guilty to a scheme that involved fraudulently procuring government contracts to supply critical military components to the Department of Defense. The woman, Yüksel Senbol, pleaded guilty to 25 felony accounts, including violating the Arms Export Control Act and the Export Control Reform Act, money laundering, and wire fraud. According to the DOJ release, beginning around April 2019, Senbol operated a company named Mason Engineering Parts, which she used as a front to help a pair of co-conspirators named Ankur Simsek and Mehmet Özkan get government contracts. The contracts involved components for military use, including Navy aircraft carriers and submarines, Marine Corps armored vehicles, and Army battle tanks. Given that numerous parts were classified as, quote, critical application items, any component failure could have rendered the end system inoperable. To secure the contract, Senbol told the government and military contractors that Mason Engineering Parts was a qualified producer of military components. However, its parts were being made by Simsek and Özkan in Turkey. In addition to the false representation, Simsek's identity was concealed because he had been debarred from contracting with the U.S. after conviction of a similar scheme in Florida. Senbol would then provide sensitive export control drawings of critical U.S. military technology to Simsek and Özkan so they could make the components in Turkey. She did this by illegally exporting the drawings to Özkan via software, which allowed him to remotely control her computer and elude security restrictions. After Simsek and Özkan made the components in Turkey, they transported them to Senbol, who repackaged them, removed any reference to the foreign country, and laundered hundreds of thousands of dollars in payments back to Simsek and Özkan. The military tested the parts but determined that they did not conform with product specifications, and federal investigators eventually broke up the scheme. Senbol faces hundreds of years in prison and is scheduled to be sentenced on August 6th. Simsek and Özkan have been labeled fugitives. I'm Nolan Beilstein. This is Manufacturing Now.